So I think Victor on this Yoru is kind of good so far.
I mean, Sim will be able to play pretty fast too. I feel like Yoru doesn't play as crazy as that Jet, but then there's a Reyna on top. Sim is gonna be enabled so well, and recoil goes down before getting traded. So Chet's Pets will be able to play. Look who's forward. Victor's trying to get ahead of the game. Got really sparked his confidence after ending the game off in his favor. 4. Pretty stacked up though over in boats. TSM just try to wait for Chet's Pets to exit and stagger out, and now this seems more winnable for TSM. They emerge now with the paranoia out. Chet's Pets are gonna hide in this back room. Caillou having an amazing day. No surprise he's able to get 3 in this first round, but it's TSM with yet another pistol.
And again, where TSM just stands still, 7 just holds his crosshair right outside of the smoke and just looks into the archway in the back of the site, and his opponent once again runs into his crosshair to get that pick. That said, I respect that Victor was pushing out towards that spawn to hopefully catch some players off guard. But I don't think that they were expecting that TSM are playing a 4-1 and then also going for a 3-player death ball to try to retake together as a team. So he kind of got surprised out of pushing out of his own smoke. But if anything, the first execution into this B site was perfect. It was a slight mistake out of recoil, getting hit by the KO knife, so he can't even dismiss after he gets the pick to get out to safety towards the back of the site or even back towards the staircase. But TSM is able to flood back perfectly and win a pistol again. So this is all pistols except for 1 in favor of TSM so far in this series.
As TSM are going to lack so much information using this. Well, it doesn't matter when 7 just has a shotgun. And he gets 2 with it. 7 in this shotgun, man. I love it. He is an absolute menace. So less information, who cares? Just shoot better. Shoot better when you see him. Almost
what
an
am I
ace.
watching? What am I
Valorant,
watching?
baby. It's Valorant.
I mean, or I'm watching 7 as Artazine cosplay on Split, and now he's cosplaying a Sadak on Ascent. Not with a Judge, but with a Bucky, and getting a lot of good value out of it so far. And he's actually continuously using Buckies instead of a Judge, by the way, and still putting good numbers into it. Even if he has enough money into like these half buys that they have that they could buy a Judge, I think he just opts to go for the Bucky. He's trying to bring it back here on the side of how valuable the Bucky was when it was first released in this game.
Signature fist bump. You're pulling that out at the club. So TSM cares about info.
You missed out on EDC this weekend.
I know, and I live here too, so just trying to avoid the traffic, and well, you can't avoid those bullets if you recoil.
Wow, you're such a boomer. I didn't want to hit the traffic, so I just avoided EDC. Well, I would have got an EDC if I lived in Vegas. What are you talking about?
All right, I'll send the invite next year. So. Well, you got walls, you got slows, but you got 2 down for TSM, and now it's getting even worse. No info, but a lot of good delay with the stage, at least.
Yeah, if anything right now is 7's, TSM's doing a good job putting 7 into good spots at the very beginning where he's slowing down the pushes and getting good value of him just owning so far in this whole series as a Sentinel player. This is just a bonus round for TSM no matter what, so you're stacked up and trying to fight back against the push here that you had from Chet's Pets when you had a lower buy. But thankfully, it's still around that go. Well, as I was about to say that should be a little bit cleaner for the side of Chet's Pets, but they're starting to lose players 1 by 1 here.
Isolated, like Caillou in a 1v1 versus 7, and better timing there, but that could have been sketchy in a different world, a different place. And it's Chet's Pets who take that 3rd round, that first buy-up, kind of similar to how Haven went, and that's how Chet's Pets were able to get back into the driver's seat and build that 5-win streak. So just getting into TSM's heads early is very important.
And getting the start you needed here, especially, you know, in that first map of Split, when you lost a pistol, you also lost bonus on both halves. So it's nice here that Chet's Pets were able to stop that bleeding right away quite early in this 3rd map. Because you're looking at it from the history of these last 2 maps, they were quite close towards the tail end of it. But if they're able to mitigate that quite early into the half here for Chet's Pets, they might have a better hold. I mean, dude, what can you do now? What can you do? You just wallbanged 3 players.
You can't move. You can't move because they were all in the slow orbs. So 7's timings on these slow orbs are crazy. Wasn't expecting to be singing his praises on the stage of all things, and that was Vora that was playing the stage back on Split. So really cool, and he's got the res. I mean, he started off 6-0 in just 2 rounds, and it's getting even better because Recoil is also a threat in the middle of the map, gets the spike dropped, and Marv will have his presence known, but a 1 versus 4. Talk about how rusty he is, but man, I don't even think anyone could pull off a 1v4 like that, especially when you're with your location known. So,
and if you want to roll back the years, the last time we've seen some strong Sage on a map like Ascent was Pittsburgh Knights, when I think it was Ziff, the one that was playing the Sage on. I can't even remember. Maybe I've even got my player wrong at that point. But the usage of the Sage on this map when Pittsburgh played it was just isolate and block off a whole lane, and then you could play a little bit more more grouped up on different lanes across the map. But this time it's just 7 playing in like a battle stage so far, and it's working out quite well. And you also have a little bit of Luminosity Mata or something on the Reyna on this map, and just putting numbers too for Recoil. So, and look at that. There's so much responsibility given for those 2 young guns. When you have Recoil playing that by himself as a Reyna, so he could just kill and dismiss, and they're playing 4-1s when it's with a duelist that's a solo player instead of a sentinel player. That's quite an interesting look into the defensive side of Ascent here for TSM.
Such a good read out of 7 to know when to orb, when to wall, knowing you're funneling Chetpets into market. Spike was down, and it was also Sim backstabbing them with the Outlaw over on the A side catwalk. So TSM are so good at manipulating where Chetpets are going and knowing how that's going to develop.
So it was Ziff. I had to double check my sources. My sources is trust me, bro. Let me just go back. Exactly. Yeah. No, but I went back to fact check myself, and we're correct on that one. And it definitely looks, at least for the side here of Chet's Pets, that it's a pain point to deal with so far. And it's not necessarily on, again, anything crazy coming out from TSM so far. It's just 7 being at a spot and getting triple kills, double kills, and there's nobody really there on the side of Chet's Pets to make sure that you get the instant trades against here, TSM. I mean, look at that wall. It funnels everybody across, and they're just getting easy crosshair placement. It's been such a boon on the side here of TSM to play with the Sage, but such a thorn here on the side of Chet's Pets to deal with.
Yeah, Chet's Pets just have to figure out, okay, do we just abandon B? This Sage is so annoying. You get double slow orb. There's also a Sova there that could just shock dart you or whatever, recon, make it hard. And then you have a Sage wall that can come up and just make it so there's so much time for rotations to come in from the defense. Chet's already tried to go through market. That didn't work out. So do you just kind of go back to hitting A, and Spike's on the left side of the map? But I feel like A would be weaker if you know the Sentinel is on the left side.
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, is no matter where they go, is if 7's feeling hot right now, it's just him owning, right? And it looks like they're about to Sage Wall boost up to try to look over the smoke on top middle. They're high-lowing this. There's that first pick. This is so nice. Oh, this is so nice.
7 just loves to lurk in these smokes and pop out. He did it even with the shotgun earlier. This is going to really surprise Chetpets. And look how scared they are, just stuck in mid, wondering, okay, is Sim going to come out from catwalk? Where is this op? What do we do? Wait for the smoke. And Recoil's on the other side. Well read from Chetpets. Be reactive in this moment. Knowing TSM are an antsy type of team that will peek out when things get a little too quiet. Chetpets will eventually work their way towards A.
That's it. You respect it for Recoil's side, right? You have, again, another player that's been playing the duelist quite well. Remember that first map on Split. So for him to stay and isolate the 1v1 against a veteran of Marv and could dismiss away, you have to permit for him to get that ego fight. But that's what I was trying to say. If you're not going to run into a hot 7, you're still going to run into Sim no matter where you go. So if you avoid the Sentinel, you're still going into the duelist that now has an op that hasn't been used yet.
Hunter's Fury from Caillou. It's putting the press on these people in Garden, and Sim is forced to walk out to dodge the Hunter's Fury. And Marv reacts appropriately. Spike down, and Chetpets will have a leg up, and this was the site that seemed the weakest. At least one that wasn't so limiting with all of the slow orbs and the walls.
Yeah. Raycon's not up for another 10 seconds, so I don't think they're going to wait after that for the side of TSM. Just have to start walking out after the smoke.
Smoke's going to go down. You got the flash from the Vice there. A foul. Gonna get TSM active. It's just one of GMD left, and hoping to do damage. And maybe Chet's Pats post timeout have found the secret sauce.
Yeah. Well, if anything, Sim was trying to get at least a close range shorty kill on the one that was hitting on that switch, and we decided to just spray inside the smoke. And finally, you have Chet's Pets getting a little bit of their a little bit of a dub there, being able to get that pick. And that's what I'm talking about. Looking over the wall, over the smokes, getting that pick on top middle. You're focusing on the person that's boosted up so Seven can move across and get an easy kill through the smokes, and you're still playing the player up. But it was a nice little answer back here from Chet's Pets to initiate and engage towards the A site and punish also the ones that are trying to go for hero plays on the side of TSM.
Well, that op is loud, and it's watching through mid, so Chet's Pets got to walk or look both ways before crossing. Victor has a dimensional drift too, so kind of surprised you wouldn't want to just pop that early and get ahead of the game. But Chet's Pets are going to see if TSM are going to peek, see what picks they get, and go next.
And now the dash is gone too.
Here.
And Victor has gained so much space. Right now, everybody could just start moving up and meeting up with Victor, because even if he has his op, once they gain this whole territory on the top of Garden, especially with that wall that just got hurt here on the side from Bao's lurk on the B, this has to be a dimensional drift entry into the A site for info. And there you go. Kicks things off perfectly. Sim still gets a pick on middle, but A site can still be up for grabs.
Oh, the paranoia came out, but it's too little too late when you have 4 people surrounding you. But dimensional drift didn't get to check out Heaven, and Seven and Sim stepping up as that deadly duo for TSM. And although the plan looked so right for Chet's Pats, they thought they hit the right site at the right time. You investing the ult. Now the odds are stacked against them. Especially if Sim's just going to be hard aimed with the op. Okay, just going to get away, but not going to have time to plan with 12 seconds. So
he will.
Oh,
He
is
should.
too close for me. This is too close for me. Okay, you're really, really close.
I was looking at his path, I was like, he should
0.6?
get it. Why is he going like in different
a map
directions?
god?
I mean, I get my laps around, you know? I play a little bit of games.
I gassed you up too much. That's my bad. That was too close, though. Victor calculated. How measured is he? TSM could be expecting him to play at that back room within the site. It's where they're going to be focused. But Vora is checking through main in the window. Victor, that's when he swings when Vora looks away, when both are within the site. Victor wrapping around, but the flash did come through the left lane, and Sim ready for it after he cleared that back room. Really good teamwork from TSM.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was missing. I love that he TP'd outside towards B main, and the only thing he had to do was try to stay quiet for Victor on that 1 versus 2. Because now that he flashes up on lane, it was like, well, I kind of gave away my position, and I'm playing against an op. Sim just watches it from the back of the B site and gets an easy kill with Victor walking into the dot there just by the operator of Sim. But that said, these two players, it felt like I was watching a Quake game. What was it? Insta-game. Both of them were just getting kills with the op. One shot, left and right, back and forth. We went towards the A-side anchor. And finally, Sim closes it out with his last little one shot there onto Victor. And TSM is able to find some sort of grasp back on the defensive side of Ascent here.
Aldron won't be able to get deep into sight to just see how close 7 is, but it's still a ping. The wall immediately dismantled. The rest of TSM backing away. Recon shock bolts as Vora waits for his time and wants to play his life. He's one away from the Hunter's Fury. And the steel card, and there's the ping from TSM. Chet's Pets really stuck, but so committed to get through this. They got the initial good intel. And the confidence as Recoil pops the Empress and pops the heads of Chet's Pets, who just have Bao left. A flawless execution for TSM.
Dude, what a flawless coming out from TSM. Recoil 8, 1 damage. That was the only person that got damage in that round when they defended the flood take of Chet's Pets right into the B site. That was just great shooting coming out. The walls, once again, being so annoying to deal with on the side of Chet's Pets. And literally, you're just funneling, just guzzling. They're just guzzling the players running through the funnel set up by the walls of the Sage. And then TSM just closes it out on a defensive round like that. I'm intrigued to see how TSM is going to activate on their attack side here when they don't have too much of util for flank watches, but their defense so far has been looking amazing.
Oh, Recoil just gets ran over there. Quicker to the trigger, and that could have been a dead offense. Chet's Pets gonna be more aggressive. Sometimes he's kind of gets stuck on an island in mid. They get surrounded by TSM, and that's still happening. The spike is dropped, and it's deja vu again. Sim on catwalk with the knot. The rest of TSM pushed through the front, and Chet's Pets are dead, and they lost the round.
Yeah, easy anti-eco coming out here from TSM, but dude, just where the players are at for TSM at the very beginning of these rounds, this is just pristine. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's calling out from Vorub. It's just a feel that they know where the start are starting here for the side of Chet's Pets, and they're just shutting it down every single time. This time, finally, it seems as before we get into these replays that there's a chance now finally for Chet's Pets to get some sort of opening towards this B site, because it looks like so many players are focused up on mid control once again. There's only an op holding very passively towards the front of the B site, so there's a chance for the split to actually get some value.
Chet's Pets are gonna still hit B. Null command may help things out there from Giza, but the op is still a threat.
Huge.
And the Hunter's Fury, there's so much pressure defensively. There's no space to run or to gun or to win. And they're just getting picked apart. At least Marv on this alternate angle is catching TSM by surprise. And he's taken down 3. He's a one-man army. And he almost had the ace before the GOAT shuts him down.
Oh, it was looking so clean. The Iceman was about to come back until the last fight, thinking that there was nobody else left inside the B site, comes out with his knife trying to gain some extra space, and then just gets shut down by 7. A nice valiant attempt by the veteran on the side of Marv, but unfortunately it wasn't cold enough to clutch it out here for Chet's Pets. That said, though, you were talking about the support of the util from TSM when it looked like the split was going to be perfect off the amount of value and information that Victor is getting off the dimensional drift. But that Hunter's Fury got so much value. Already dropped down the KO, gets a double ping with the Hunter's Fury too. Doesn't make it easy for the players of Chet's Pets to stay alive here in that fight. And already the second timeout's being called before we even made it into the second half here for the attack side of Chet's Pets.
I guess I'm just wondering why there hasn't been more of a pivot towards A. I'm really A-centered, but if it's broken, it's time to fix it. Like, B is just not happening. Whether it's the slow orbs, the shock darts, the Hunter's Fury, the wall, there's so much to get through, and not the same at A. And then Chet's Pets' backup plan is to sit in mid and to wrap through market. And I think there's a potential to push through tree. I think you know that you've registered that Sim is with an op around that catwalk area. You try and challenge that from a different angle. And Chet's Pets gotta put Marv into a good position maybe with the ult. I don't know how crazy he wants to be, teleporting behind. Chet's Pets are not the TSM flankers though, so it's a bit of a different play style for them.
They are looking like they're gonna try finally for a split towards the A site. Albo just got spotted. Easy kill.
You know where the op is. Smile, silver lining. Then another body though. Tough. Flawless round, but it was mixed low buy from Chet's Pets. But wait, there's Cope. The C stands for Cope, right? You can go to A this time with rifles. It'll be better, right?
I think that's the thing that's missing a little bit here in the composition out from Chet's Pets. You are playing double initiator, so you have an opportunity to find, you know, at the very beginning of these rounds, one, to take back control with the simple pop flash into that TP that we just saw in the previous round. Although it was a knife that looks into garden, right? So you could definitely leverage that a little bit more to find that information. They are looking like they're setting up at least a knife for info, and there you go. Finally a good pick coming through.
Oh my god, purposeful gap in the wall.
And when they fall back, he's got res too. It's all part of the plan.
Supporting fire too. Hey, guess what? It was all a fake. Chet's Pets are going A, guys. I'm cooking with this paranoia too. As soon as they send someone in heaven, maybe Marv wants to get ahead of the game. They still have rotations. Chet's Pets don't have bow involved. He's gonna be watching the flank because TSM loves to flank. 7 could be cooking that. Meanwhile, Sim is getting pressured, and he is the GOAT, but it is tough. A lot of pressures coming from underneath him too. Giza holds down Garden so beautifully with 3. And he's starting to heat up. And Chet's Pets need every round they can get at a 9-2 scenario. Double drop down from the duelist to TSM. And Chet's Pets stay calm.
Beautiful push out from Giza. If anything, not a push, but just the way that he held towards that door. There was so much pressure coming up towards Heaven. He's got the solo responsibility to make sure nobody's able to pinch back from Garden. If not, all 3 players are kind of trapped there at the bottom and could potentially get picked apart rather by Sim with the op. And for him to muster up 3 kills the way that he did, that's a much needed round coming out here from Chet's Pets. It's a 9-3 potential curse, but now they have a chance to play the defensive side with a more standard comp. Ash was mentioning on the desk here, the double initiator with a Vice instead of a Cypher or a KG, still a very strong composition to play with on the side here of Chet's Pets. And while for TSM, that's the question mark. What can now 7 do? And with the way that he's been playing the Sage, Battle Sage, I wouldn't be surprised for like Sage Wall boosts. The standard way to play here on split Bs, going in front of that A site with a wall on top to look over smokes, or just Sim getting a pick the way that he just did against Marv.
Sim's gonna skill check Marv early too. Double swing out from Chet's Pets, and Recoil's just playing anti-flash. He's traded. Chet's Pets go back to square one, but TSM feeling like, okay, they've taken down 2. A lot of actions over at A. This is the weaker side, right? Giza with another multi-kill in Garden. TSM are brought back down to earth, humbled for a moment. A quick swing out from Caillou, abandoning the spike for 7 to assist, and the heal from Vora to Vora gets TSM back on their feet. What a decision. A bow is left. His presence known. 7's up top, and Vora gets the kill, and it's TSM with another good pistol.
Great share shots coming out too from the side of Vora to get that last pick, and that was a pistol round that was much needed from the defensive side. Giza tried to do as much as he could. Great impact kills for the last 2 rounds, but unfortunately not enough here for the side of the defense to muster up a pistol. So in 3 maps, only 1 pistol round has been won here on the side of Chet's Pets. Unfortunately, that might be the storyline of this matchup. Probably would have been much more different here if they actually were able to get a little bit more on the side here of Chet's Pets. Now TSM are in a solid position to close out the series.
Chet's Pets taking the pistol in the second half is what kind of helped them hell into Haven. But TSM taking all these pistols is such a nail in the coffin, especially getting to double digits. Such a gap in the score. It would take a miracle, and Caillou would have to go sickle mode, X Games mode, Super Saiyan, all the things. Give him all your energy. He's gonna need it coming up. He's got a shotgun, but not at the front door. They're kind of allowing TSM to walk in. Maybe Victor could be swinging with Bow, especially with Victor taking some hits. Don't want to be too crazy as TSM dash in, making space with Sim now on the site, ready to pop out of smoke while synchronized. Sim gets caught, but revealed where the rest of Chet's Pets are. And now it's a scramble, it's a brawl, and it's 7 versus Marv at the end of the day. Peak from Marv, mind games against 7. Pawns in place, but the King's still in place too. It's TSM getting up to 11. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Nice
POV
answer back there from 7. I mean, at this point, though, I'm just questioning. They had the perfect stack going in for the side of Chet's Pets. Paranoia was beautiful coming out from Marv. Perfect trades out, but a 1v1, knowing that the last person was going to be the Sage. Boosted up the whole time. There was weapons placed around the site. But Marv just failed to run towards it to pick it up here and try to get any chances to win that 1v1. Had to play now a classic against the Sheriff. Now TSM are 2 rounds away, and you're mustering whatever you can here for the side of Chet's Pets. Already an op coming out from Victor.
Oh, good peek. Chet's Pets backing away. Early knife ping onto 7-2. You had a sense that danger was nearby and the read was right. TSM need recoil to be huge with this Vandal, and flash out from Chet's Pets. TSM dodge, and recoil's kind of out on his own. Able to capitalize on Chet's Pets' attention. while the spike is pivoting towards B.
Oh, he made it through. I don't think that's ping. He gets a free kill. Oh, they walled him behind the wall, so they thought there was nobody inside the garden, and a free kill for Recoil, and now he can just work around the map. Oh, this has got to sting.
Are so calculated, yeah. But ChetsPets have a wall of their own, and looks like TSM are going to be delayed because of that, and GMD could be in an awkward spot here, but they'll be okay for now. ChetsPets
30
are
seconds left.
not aggressive. They're not peeking. They're not an advantage. I mean, they're in a weapon advantage, I guess, but not numbers.
Mars in a good spot. This might be around here if he gets his pick.
Catching them on the exit. 7 HP. The shock ball. Bora. That's mean. 12 seconds, though. Gotta hurry up and book it. All right, Mascot. Can they do it? Malice on his way to prevent it. Doesn't have sightlines. Recoil is so clean with it with 2 seconds to spare. TSM get it down. And they got to break it down against Caillou. 1v3 to deny the match point out of TSM. And this is just domination from TSM.
Dude, yeah, that was so close there for Marv. I mean, it's you can't know how many players are rotating back towards tiles, but if he actually did get that second kill, or if there was actually in that rotate over for TSM that they were grouped up a little bit closer, that was spiked down. A chance here for ChetsPets to even win out that round just from their repositioning coming out from the Iceman. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Misses that shot on the second player. Beautiful reaction by Vora to go with the shock dart kill. And what a shot coming out from Recoil as well. It was such a good series overall, 13-11, 13-11. But now it just seems like the gas, there's none left for the side here at ChetsPets.
TSM are just so good at sussing out where that Sentinel util is and then pivoting to the A site. Something I wish ChetsPets were able to do more of, drawing out all this util, picking a weaker site. TSM have had so many years together in Sim. A lot of time in the aim room too, and how well he's playing. And that's what we love about Sim, his consistency. Spike left behind, usual default. ChetsPets, wait to see what else is next.
Shot down.
Okay, Caillou.
Deploying drone.
He was the hero that ChetsPets needed in the past, but 21 HP. His team doesn't have a Sage, so he'll be stuck hemorrhaging for a moment. TSM will slowly make their way to A, just like before. Paranoia out. ChetsPets back away. Lear out. A lot used from TSM within the site, but the Spike's still got to make its way in. You smoke off glass. ChetsPets
Big kill.
finally emerge, and Marv always makes his impact known. It's up to ChetsPets to make up for this, because it's match point for TSM and a semi-final ticket ahead of them. As Vora will wait in hell with the Huntress Fury at the ready above the wall. 7 reads like a book. The res 2 numbers for TSM. ChetsPets just put in the doghouse. Vora with the final laugh as TSM go to the semi-finals to face Burger Boys.